Hi, my name's Roo. I'm the publisher and one of the testers at Tonic magazine, and I've been out here for the last week in Cape Town checking out some of the new Core wing gear which they've had on test. This equipment's been out for a little while now. You've probably seen it in the magazines. I think it was launched tail end of last summer. We've not actually managed to get our hands on any of it yet, so I was quite excited to finally get on and have a ride. And I have to say, overall, I've been incredibly impressed with the equipment that we've been trying. So the Roma is their standard wing board. It's available in a range of sizes from 55 up to 130 litres. Obviously 130 litres for the beginners and the heavier weight guys and girls, and then the smaller board 50 is for the more expert riders that can kind of handle something a bit smaller. What I've got here is the 411 that comes in at 70 litres. So usually the wing board that I would ride would be around 75 litres. That's my magic number. Where I ride in the UK is a lot of shore break, beach break. Getting out on a big day at Newgale is a real mission, and you want to be able to get on a board and be up and riding within a couple of seconds rather than trying to get a sinker going because you get smashed by the waves all the time. So for me, 75 litres is about the magic number. I jumped on this board, and at 70 litres and 411, it's quite a bit smaller than anything I would normally ride. I think my current board's 5.4 at 75 litres, so it was a bit of a step down for me, and I was intrigued to see how it worked. And what I would say is the volume distribution within the shape, which you can see here if I pick it up, it is quite impressive. Like, they've put a lot of volume up in the front. It's got quite a thick side to it. And even though it was 70 litres, it didn't feel like too much of a handful. The other impressive thing about this board is the stability that you have when it is in the water or slightly under the water, with my weight at 82 kilos stood on it, probably a bit more in a wet wetsuit. So it's actually quite confidence inspiring. I thought I was going to wobble. I've tried a few 65 litre boards and 70 litre boards before, and I've always struggled with them. This Roma board was really easy to ride, and I think that's one key phrase that runs true with all of the Core equipment. It's incredibly easy to ride. Construction wise, it's an EPS foam core with a sandwich custom construction on the top of it, vacuum bagged. They've put a slightly angled deck on here to give you a bit more stability as well. The underside, there's kind of two channels in the middle here. A flat section obviously for your foil to connect to, and then there's a bit of an angle on the back here just to stop you catching the back end when you're pumping and things like that. So there's definitely a fair bit of shape that's gone into it. There's a decent handle which is comfortable. That works well with the foil or without the foil, and your fingers disappear up nicely into it. And the mast tracks are a decent size as well, so you should be able to put a range of different foils on this board. In terms of the deck pad and options that you get, full deck pad, and there's also lots of strap options on here. So at the moment you can it's set up for an asymmetric strap positioning, but you can put a double Y on the front, and you can also put a single strap on the front as well if you want to. No strap on the back, however you want to do it. There is a breathe hole in here because it's a vacuum construction, so make sure that if you're leaving it in the sun for any amount of time, you undo that and always make sure to do it up. So the Roma from Core, if you haven't tried one yet, I highly recommend it. I was surprised that I could step down to 70 litres and not really have any issues. And when I was riding this board, the wind was quite gusty, so there were times when you were literally just waiting around trying to get up on foil, waiting for a gust, and then once you're up on foil, you were fine and riding. When you're in the water, as I said, it's nice and stable. When you're up on foil, that smaller length really makes it quite throw-aroundable, which isn't a word, but it is now. So I enjoyed that, and for carving, getting around on tacks, jibes and things like that didn't hold me back at all. In fact, I'm probably going to ask Core very nicely if they might send me one to ride when I get back home. I enjoyed it that much.